This all comes on the heels of the Republican National Convention, and Charlie Giroux joins us now from Milwaukee in Wisconsin, where that's going to be held. He's a Pennsylvania delegate and also a member of the Committee on Permanent Organization for the Republican National Convention. Charlie, thanks for being with us tonight.
I'm so glad I'm able to be with you on a really tragic day.
Yeah.
Certainly it is. And you know, Charlie, in light of what happened today at that rally, how is this impacting the convention, which starts on Monday?
Well, I'm sure there's going to be heightened security. There's always a lot of security around the perimeter of the convention. I'm sure they're going to expand that perimeter, and every single person is going to have to go through serious individual searches, et cetera. But I will say this. If Donald Trump comes to the convention on Thursday night, as he's expected to do, they're going to need rivets in the roof of that auditorium to hold it down, because the place is going to explode with admiration and affection for Donald Trump.
Well, you know, and we've been hearing from Trump supporters saying that's all the more, you know, that they're behind their candidate. So what are you hearing from other Pennsylvania delegates in light of everything that's unfolded today?
Well, first, people are just grateful to God that his life was spared. I mean, it was within, millimeters of his losing his life today. And so we're all very grateful to God that he was saved, and we're praying for the family of the person whose life was lost and for the others who were seriously, if not critically, injured. So that's the first thing that people are thinking about. But the other is people are really reflecting on the fact that in the milliseconds after this incident occurred, you saw the true character of Donald J. Trump, a valiant, strong, determined leader who, gave the fist pump to his fans and supporters because he was concerned about them knowing that he was all right. You really saw the measure of the man. This was almost a Reagan-esque moment, and it's going to be an iconic vision that's really locked into the minds of voters across the country for the rest of this campaign.
Charlie, do you have any idea about conversations now about additional security at the convention?
I don't know any specific details, but I am sure, having done advance work for many, many years, that there are a lot of conversations, that they'll expand the perimeter most likely around the convention center, and that there will be heightened security for every passerby that goes into the facility on any of the convention days.
Of course, Charlie, we're hearing from both parties, when it came to what happened at this rally today. So before we leave you tonight, what are your thoughts on what unfolded today and how this changes things moving forward?
Well, obviously, it's a very tragic day, and every American ought to be gut-wrenched by what occurred. But to be very blunt, when you demonize somebody the way that Donald J. Trump has been demonized by some, you lead crazy people to believe that it's okay to do this kind of thing. And that's tragic. But for the rest of the campaign, as I say, I think people are going to see the Donald J. Trump who, in that precarious, priceless moment, did what leaders do. He showed courage. He showed strength. He showed vitality. He showed what kind of man he truly is. And that's not going to be lost on the American people.
Charlie Giroux, we appreciate you taking time with us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.